This is an instructional video for the RWT Timeline App. If you don't have this app, you're going to want to pause the video and download it now. As you can see, you're going to have to create a user. I already have a user, but you're going to have to create a new user. Please use your full first and last name, as this will be tied to your project that you turn in. You can pick a picture of your choice or an icon that already exists. Then you can open up your user account to start creating your timeline. First thing you can do is just preview. This is just an example of a timeline done by time. Yours will look something like this when it's done. Once you're ready to go, you're simply going to type in the title of your project. In this case, we are working on your timeline for your crime scene, and then go ahead and get started. You can always change the title of your project in the top right corner, and then you can go ahead and get started by following the directions. They're pretty straightforward. Click to add a tile. The label for your tile is going to be the time of the event. Notice the preview on the right shows you what it's going to look like. The short description does need to be short. You won't be able to fit a lot of characters in here, so as briefly as you can, the event, and then you can explain it more thoroughly in the description in 1 to 2 complete sentences. Notice that that full description, though, will only appear in the printout copy, not the copy that has the images in it. Next, you're going to want to add an image from your camera roll. You might have to allow it access to your camera roll. You can manipulate the image in multiple directions, make it fill the frame. Once you're done, you'll be able to see a preview of what your tile is going to look like before you complete it, although you can always go back and edit it. Once you're done and it's on your timeline, you can move it around. Tiles go in any direction, up and down. Obviously, once you get all the tiles on here, you may have to do some rearranging. You can and should always be saving your progress. If you save the file, you'll notice that it saves it as an RWT file, which means you can only open it on this timeline app. But if it is saved on here, at any point, maybe the app crashes, or you can exit out of it, you know that it's saved, you can go back to your profile, open it up, it'll exist there just the way you left it to keep working. When you are finally finished, that's when you're going to want to save the final. You can save a draft, but the final copy is the only way that you can view it outside of the timeline app. So it clearly tells you that it's going to go to your photo album as a JPEG. You can save it there, and then it will be found in your camera roll, which means you can now go out of the timeline app into your camera roll. In your camera roll, you'll notice that you have 2 new images now. One is the timeline and one is the printed copy. So one will have the pictures and one will just have the text. Your teacher may want both of them or just one of them. Either way, from the camera roll, you can open it in maybe Shobi or Pages, whatever you have to do with these images. These are your files. It will still be in the timeline app. So if for some reason you made a mistake, you could always go back to it. This ends the instructional video. Feel free to go back and rewatch it if you still have questions, comments, concerns.